Hello and welcome back to my tutorial on how to make your own LED wire tree. And this is episode 3, and today we are going to prepare our wires. And I have the wires here. As you can see, they're all coiled up, and if I unwind something you can see it's very bent and we need to straighten them out, because otherwise we were going to make a big mess. And to straighten them out we are going to draw them. And to do this, we need a sturdy point where we can tie the wires to. And I'm going to use my radiator here. You can do it on a doorknob, but I like this place because it's very low down and we won't get everything so much tangled up. So now I'm gonna just tie the wire to this, and to do this I'm just gonna wind the wire around itself a few times and then push it through here to make kind of a knot. And if you just make a knot in the first place, the wire might break while we pull on it. So now this is fast and we can pull on it. Okay, so now I can pull my screwdriver through here and just unwind the wire. Okay, let me just reset my camera and I'll be right back. Now I have unwound the wire for quite a distance, and the longer you have the better. You see I have pulled the wire right across the room, and if I let go of it you can see that it's starting to coil up. And it's important not to let go of the wire, because then it will snap all the way back and make a bit knot, and you will never get that untangled. So always keep a firm grip on the wire. So now I'm going to put the wire between the pliers and twist it around once, so I have a firm grip on it. And now comes the pulling part. So you can see there's a few meters of wire ahead of me, and now I'm just gonna pull the wire out a few centimeters. And when I let go of it now, you can see that it lays flat across the floor, and that's what we want. So now I'm going to snip off the wire here, and now I can let go of it and nothing will happen. Okay, so I don't really want to calculate how much wire we're going to need, and I'm just going to repeat this a few times and I'll be right back after that. So I've started with the black wire now, and with the black wire I have to draw a little bit harder. I don't really know why. It must be some kind of different material, and that all depends on what kind of wire you're using. This is 0.25 millimeter wire, and if you have thicker wire then you will have to pull a bit harder, but always draw it out for a few centimeters. And the thicker you go with the wire, the harder it will be to twist the tree into shape later. So if you're using 0.5, then I think this should really be the maximum. If you use thicker wire, you will have problems shaping the tree later. Okay, so I now have 4 long straight wires of each color, and I think that's going to be enough for now. I can always make more if I run out. And yeah, we're gonna get to the cutting part of it. Okay, now I've got my tape measure ready. I'm gonna cut all the wires loose from here. And now I'm gonna cut them into size. And I will use 60 centimeters for this project because I want to do something fancy with the roots of the tree. But for you, it will, if you don't want to do that, then 50 centimeters will be more than enough. Okay, let's get to it. So I'm holding one end of the wires with one hand, and the other end I'm holding to the end of the tape measure, and then I can just cut off all the wires that are now in the right size and put them to the side. And this way I will get a lot of wires of equal length, and that will make my job much easier later. If everything has a different length, then it's very hard to put the wires away in the base. They will, they will just, because they're all a different length, then they will just tangle up. So I've come to the end of my wires now, and some are too short, so we'll toss them away. So you see, the longer you make the wires before you draw them, the less waste you will have. So well, it's just a little bit of waste. It's not too bad. And yeah, let's just toss this to the side. Have to be a bit careful with all the wires. You can sting your hand with them. And now we have a big bunch of wires, and you see they are completely insulated, and we have to get rid of the lacquer on the ends of them, and yeah, that's what we're going to do. So I'll meet you back at the table. Alright, we are back at the workbench, and I have the whole bunch of wires here in front of me, and now I'll just take one, and we have to get rid of the lacquer on the end of the wire. And to do this, I'm going to use my knife. And there are other methods. Some people try to burn the lacquer off with a lighter. Some people just use the soldering iron and solder straight through the lacquer. But this hasn't really worked out too well for me. And my preferred method is with a knife. I've never cut myself doing it, but because you have to grip the wire, my hand starts hurting after a while. So you might not want to do this in one sitting. So let's get started. I grip the wire firmly in one hand and just scrub the last few millimeters of the wire here. And I turn the wire to get it from all the sides. And yeah, now you can see that the end of the wire is shiny, and you can see the copper, and that's what we want. And if you have a color where you can't really see that very well, then you can use a multimeter to test this. Just strip the lacquer off both ends and hold the multimeter on both ends on the ohm setting, and if it shows a small number, then you're fine. Okay. Now the other side, also you need just a very short section is really enough, because we don't want to solder on a very long part of the wire. And if you make this part here too long with no lacquer on it, then you might get shorts. So yeah, about this, like 5 millimeters, that's enough. Okay, now I really want, now put this away. I really want to show you the whole process of making this tree. So I'm not gonna just cut to the end of it. Instead, I think I'll make a time lapse. And yeah, it's gonna take quite long to get through all these wires, and I'll see you after that. All right, we're almost done here with the wires, and you can see in the back here that the wires got a little bit bent in the process, but that's not a problem because later we will saw the two of them to one LED and then twist them up a little bit, and that will make them straight again. And yeah, look at all the stuff here, man. I think that is how glitter is made. Yeah, I have to wash my hands after this. So, all of these wires prepared, no accidents so far, that is good. And I think this episode has gone on long enough, so thank you for watching. And if you like what I'm doing, please like and subscribe. And if you have any further questions, then leave them down in the comments. And I will answer them in the next episode, or maybe I'll make an FAQ episode sometimes later. And I have to apologize for the creaky table. This is a very old table. It has been my grandmother's dinner table, and I've had it for 10 years now, and now I'm using it as a workbench. So sorry, Grandma, for doing that to the table. And yeah, thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next episode when we solder the LEDs to the wires. Bye bye.